Why more thinking about a problem often doesn't solve it. How many times have you been ruminating over a problem, or maybe you face a big problem in your personal life or your career, and you say, hey, I'm gonna sleep on that, or I'm gonna go think about that a little bit more, then I'm gonna respond. And then you actually go think about it some more, and maybe you're even more confused and even more undecided than when you actually started thinking about it in the first place. The key is maybe you just don't need to be thinking about it as much. You need to get a little bit of perspective. And so here's a couple ways that I handle these situations, and man, does it give me a fresh perspective. Number one is I try to stop thinking about it for a little while, and I try to get outside and go for a quick walk. So actually taking myself out of there, out of my room, out of where I am, and move to a different place and get into my body and start moving forward, and that effectively clears my head. Now there's another thing I do, which I did last night. I've been thinking about a certain challenge that I have in my business, and I went and I played tennis, played singles for 2 hours. Often I play a lot of doubles, but man, I loved playing singles last night for a little over 2 hours, and it was like it completely cleared my mind. It's like shifting my attention from the problem into how am I going to win this match. It's kind of like cleansing the palate before a great meal. Kind of opens you up to the possibilities. The other thing is a good night's rest, and I talk a lot about that, but if you can get a good night's rest, that alone can often give you a very fresh perspective. The key is you got to sort of stop thinking about it for a little while. The other thing, in terms of getting out of your head, you can get out of your head and get onto paper. That's right. So maybe you are still thinking a little bit, but you're using your pen and paper, pencil and paper, to actually get your thoughts out onto paper and out of your head. And that can also help give you some great perspective and stop thinking about it quite as much. The other thing is to get a sounding board. So get a friend, get a coach like me or someone else that can just listen deeply to you for a while and just help you process your thoughts. And if you're a verbal processor like me, this of course can be a huge benefit to helping you process and maybe think a little bit less, talk a little more, and get through this. And maybe say, Ben, well, I don't want to start talking to somebody until I actually, hey there, I don't want to start talking to somebody until my thoughts are really clear. And a great mentor of mine said, Ben, for verbal processors, we speak to get clear, not get clear then speak. And that sure has been helpful for me in my professional life and even in my personal life. So I just rattle off a few ideas, but the key is sometimes thinking about it isn't going to deliver the sense of clarity or the answer. So try some of these things that I share with you today, and then go back and think about it then with a fresh perspective, or maybe the answer will come up to you just by going through those processes.